Hello and welcome to Audrey the Icon Adventures. I'm Connie.
And I'm Daryl.
And this is Audrey the Icon.
We've just driven from Broken Hill out to Menindee Lakes. We plan to stay here for a couple of nights. I didn't get a lot of footage while we're here. We took a few hundred photos. This episode is going to be a mixture of some slideshows with some voiceover mixed in with the footage that we did get. That's kept the episode a little bit shorter than some of the others. Anyway, the photos were just too good to not put in and share. Let's get into it because some of the photos that Connie took just absolutely blew us away. We've driven down alongside the lake looking for a camp spot, ended up at the weir and found this flock of pelican down there. And you could see them working together, herding the fish around so that they could have a really good feed. While setting up camp, it came in quite overcast, and that gave us these beautiful bursts of sunshine through in places. Chickens came in for a feed as well. It was great to watch them paddling backwards and forwards. Set the camera up on the tripod to do a time lapse here. I had a feeling that the sunset should be pretty spectacular with the view out across the water, the cloud, and you can see some of the colour. And then, wow, did you see that burst of red that came through? Well, here's the photos that Connie took with just her phone. And the colours got changed slightly by the phone, not particularly much. When you see these next couple of photos that come through and just the vibrancy that you can see, it was very, very close to reality what you're seeing here. It just absolutely blew us away that a sunset could be so spectacular. It really left us just gobsmacked as to how beautiful it was. And it was just that burst over the space of a couple of minutes. I woke up fairly early the next day and thought, here's an opportunity to get a nice time lapse of the sunrise. And lo and behold, there was even a couple of stars still to be seen. Or perhaps it was a couple of planets, I don't know. They talk about the early bird gets the worm. Well, here we are, still nice and early. And you can see a couple of pelicans out there having a fish. I don't know how successful they were. There's a lot of yellow belly perch in the lakes. And this was the view from our bedroom. That there is the Darling River. We're just outside of the little town of Menindee, and the little woolly wagtails are flying around and singing their song. And what really got my attention just here is you can get a really good look at the root structure of these whopping big river gums, and just look at how intense it all is. And then over the years of all the flooding and the banks getting washed away, the roots are just swinging out in the breeze, literally. No wonder they eventually topple in. You may see a couple over there that have fallen down. And as we make our way around here, more falling down and more root structures. This section we're on, just on the outside of a bend here, and it's a nice bank that we can just stand on here, and all the green weed or whatever kind it is makes it look very, very pretty. It's middle of August, so it's meant to be cold and miserable winter weather. No, we're walking around in shorts and t-shirt, and it's going to be like 23 degrees today or something, so really quite different to what we came prepared for. So I only brought a couple of pairs of shorts, and they're getting a good workout, that's for sure. So yes, Darling River, we're having a drive through here. We're told by the lovely lady at the information counter it is very scenic, and we've been going along looking at all the different campsites along the river. They're all numbered, and some of them are really good for solar and some of them are really good for shade. So we're just having a nice wander through here before we head back to camp. We want to be back at camp around 4ish for the sunset this afternoon. So we'll see you a little bit later. Check out the flood markers on this tree here. While wandering along, we came across this mob of emu. Obviously that made Connie happy to be able to photo some emus. This particular emu came up and thought he could intimidate Eddie. It was so funny to watch. We only got to do a little bit of exploring here in the Menindee area because a couple of days ago, it was only yesterday morning, pardon me, we loaded up at Walker-Ringer Goldfields and the TPMS, tyre pressure monitoring system, was showing that the left rear was about 3 pound down. So we're doing all dirt driving to start with, so I let it be and kept a close eye on it, and we got down to Yunta, and from Yunta to Broken Hill it was about 200 kilometres of blacktop. So I pumped all the tyres up after having been on the dirt and got up to Broken Hill. By the time we got to Broken Hill, tyre had gone down the best part of 7 or 8 pound from where I pumped it up to, which is a bit disconcerting. One of the tasks that we mentioned yesterday had to be done was off to Repco to see if we get one of those squeezy bottle jobbies to fix your own flat tyre. So we got out here yesterday with the tyre going down again from when we pumped it up at lunchtime, and this morning one of my first tasks was fix that tyre. So I followed the instructions, very simple to do, and pumped it up. It went down about 2 pound from where I pumped it up to, and then it seemed to stabilise, and I thought, hey, we're looking good. It sat on 42 pound here for like the last hour and a half, 2 hours. Let's go out and do some exploring. So we go off and to do a little exploring. Didn't have to drive very far, and the pressure went up, so that was good. And soon after it started going down and down and down, and it was frustratingly going down. So when we stopped to have some lunch not far from the Darling River, I pumped it up a whole bundle and we drove back to camp, and I've just done a whole heap of tyre swapping, or I should say wheel swapping. So you can see the left front is filthy dirty. That was the spare on Eddie. There's a left rear that's being given as grief. So we took the spare off Eddie and put him on the front, left front. He doesn't do a lot of work the front when we're towing. So the good left front is now the left rear, and the left rear is now tied up underneath as a spare, going flat as we speak. Now I'll see if I can work out how to insert a photo into this video, all part of me learning new tricks, so that we can show you the damage that we found to the tyre. Now the green goop, I was originally going to say, oh, the damn stuff, what a waste of money that was. Not true. When you see the damage to the tyre, you'll appreciate that the green goop worked actually pretty damn good. So at the moment, I'm giving the green goop a thumbs up. There's the empty bottle of green goop. It's called Slime. Not cheap, about $40 for a 473ml bottle, which is what they recommend for using in cars, four-wheel drives, fairly standard size tyres. Put the whole bottle in. It worked well. As I say, hopefully I've been able to insert the photo that shows you what it actually had to deal with. And I think we're at the point that we'd probably buy another one and have it as a spare with us, just in case in the future. If we didn't have that, I think that tyre could have ended up being a real issue in a big way. So thumbs up to Slime. We picked it up at Repco. Use your state car club membership like RACQ for us, and you get a discount at Repco, which helps. I imagine Snoopy Cheap has it. I think one of those things that handy to have if you're going to do some more remote travel where getting a tyre repair or a tyre replaced, which is what we need to do now, is not as easy done as it is when you're in closer to the big towns. We're here. Connie's got the camera on the tripod. I can't pan this too much because it's just going to pick up the sun that's belting in across the water. And we're going to wait for Pelican o'clock to fire up. We'll be packing up tomorrow and heading off. More new roads and towns for both of us. So all part of us getting out and exploring and having a bit of an adventure. We've thoroughly enjoyed our time here. It is absolutely awesome.
It's over Menindee Lakes here in the afternoon. We've got the setting sun happening over there, but over here we have some fishing pelicans. We're up to 5 at the moment, but here's another one's coming in because there's obviously some fish there. The poor little water bird was there first and he was fishing away, and suddenly all of the bigger birds started coming in to help him out, shall we say. We had 5 before, now we're up to 7, and they're swimming around fishing. We've had one lucky, I was going to say lucky duck, but it's a lucky pelican so far that scored a fish, and the others were not happy with him. But they're swimming around, all very, very observant, and all of a sudden you'll get a flurry of activity. Watching.
MDC car. That's all the MDCs. Collar be going off. We just had 5 MDCs roll in.
He scratched his back. The fishing's running out. Oh no.
They're not working as a team, this mob.
He just did that to make a move, I think.
Yeah.
That or they're hounding one to get fish. Oh, that one in the middle, it does seem bigger than the others. I've got a tree in my way, but how do you tell the difference between a male and a female pelican?
MDC, mostly disappointing campers. That's a new one for you, Cole. Majorly disappointing campers.
Here comes another one, number 8. 9. There's 2 more coming over.
I think this is the most we've seen together in this spot yesterday and today. All that time we had sitting around watching the pelicans, we were relaxed, which was awesome. We only saw that one bird actually catch a fish. It was surprising. Anyway, we just kept relaxing here and enjoyed another wonderful sunset. The colours here were vastly different to what we had yesterday. Yesterday it was all very, very overcast. Today, very little in the way of cloud. Therefore, I'll let the pictures tell the story themselves. Good morning from Menindee Lakes. We've got ourselves a glass out. Beautiful and smooth. Just a couple of pelicans swimming around and a few off a water bird. As I have a woolly... No, pardon me, that was like a little swallow. Came right in close then. It's backup day today. Just couldn't resist sharing this beautiful view. You see just about here, there's a couple of pelicans. It's so smooth. There's no breeze. It's making it an absolutely glorious morning. I'm not going to pan towards the sun because it's very bright already. In this little tree here in front of us, was sitting here last night stargazing. I just happened to capture something in the old peripheral vision, and there's a little brown frog in the tree jumping around. So that was pretty cool. I think he's the first frog we've seen in the whole trip. So anyways, we must continue packing up. The plan is maybe 350-ish kilometres today, along roads and through towns. where neither of us have been before. So all part of us out and exploring, and we'll share that with you a bit later. It's a glass out here this morning. Check out the reflection of this big fella out there by himself. These two guys sunning themselves down near the weir, and here's the outlet of the weir.
Talk about the fishing in the weir here. All these pelicans and these others over here are waiting for their turn. And there's more over on the island over there. Wow. Do you want a fish?
No, thanks. Honestly, thank you anyway. I was going to
What
say,
are you
it wouldn't be hard
catching?
to catch them, surely. Yeah. What are they? Okay. The yellow belly? Okay.
So they're catching yellow belly perch
Same
as they
what's
come
up
out.
in Lake Eyre. Gotcha. Hello, Mr. Pelican. How's this? We're just heading off and we looked over to where the water comes out through the various weirs, and that's obviously outlet pipe there. See if I can zoom in on it a bit for you. Look at all the birds here. What caught my attention as we were driving off when I looked into the distance a bit was all these guys over here just having a rest. Standing around in the sun. Probably already had a morning feed. Yeah, here's some right here going for some fish. No, they missed. There's a lot of them here. I'd say easy over 100 birds here. It's incredible how close they want to get into where the water comes out. They're funny to watch. Yeah, just incredible. I'll see if I can get another angle at them. There we go, I've just walked up towards the weir a little bit further. New South Wales Water Board's doing whatever they're doing here. And the birds seem to love it. This is where they take the water out of Lake Pamamaru, which is what we'll camp next to, and bring it through a weir and through this pipe, obviously, to keep feeding down through the Darling system. So the birds, yeah, what a place. It's all fenced off so none of us mere mortals can get anywhere near it, and that might be a good thing. So I'm just going to let you enjoy the antics of these birds playing in this rough water for a little bit. Okay, see them flapping the wings and carrying on. It was interesting when we were watching them over on the lake where we were camped. They'd be just paddling along nice and gently, and then they obviously see something, so they'd take their 4 or 5 steps to get airborne. They'd literally fly about 20 feet and then land again and have a dunk in the water to see if they could get that fish that they saw from so far away. It's incredible. The water's murky. We're lucky to see an inch into the water and they're able to see the fishes, so obviously their eyes work very good in murky water. Okay, and with that, what a spectacle. I just saw a bird of prey land up top on his nest actually. See if I've got it here. I've got to poke my hand through it. He is just right up the top here. But that's my index finger, people, not the rude finger. So he just landed over there. He's just in the branch. There's two of them there actually, that's why it looked like there was a nest. So what a spectacular sight to see on the morning that we're heading off from the beautiful Menindee Lakes.